Moving now to the presidential race, and Tim Pawlenty, governor of Massachusetts, potential Republican candidate, out with a video today praising the Tea Party. Take a look.
I think the Tea Party, a great addition to the conservative coalition and the coalition for change in this country. They are part of the energy, the passion, the call for change, and they need it. And I think that's a great energy. And each generation, each big change, historical change in this country, usually starts with a group that's somewhat fresh, somewhat new. It starts out with a little bit of outsider status, but then over time they become the driving force for change. And I think the Tea Party is a welcome, helpful, energetic, forward-leaning organization.
I think what's remarkable about that is, do you remember in 2007 or 2008 the Democrats doing a video specifically geared toward the left of the party? No.
That's right.
It's really interesting to target one group in the Republican Party in a very slick, very well-produced video there.
And he just spoke to them, of course, in Arizona this week. So
continuing that message.
Signs this guy's running for president seem to be a lot of
He didn't say it there, but I think it's pretty clear. So. We're joined now by CQ Roll Call's David Drucker. David, thank you so much for joining us from Capitol Hill today. And David, can you hear us?
I can hear you just fine.
Great. Okay, we didn't have you there for a second. David, just talking with Congressman Van Hollen, he did not seem to think there's going to be much different between this fierce battle right now over continuing resolution and what Congress is going to have to do in 2 weeks. So give us a sense of where you think this is going to go. As Amy put it, are they just kicking the can down the road for 2 more weeks? We've got to do this all over again.
Well, it's a little bit of both. First of all, I'm a big fan of Chris Van Hollen's. I think he's one of the brightest stars in the party, but his opinion and that of House Democrats is really irrelevant right now. You really have to look at this as a House Republican, Senate Democratic negotiation. And will those two factions be able to reach a point in the middle that they both believe and feel is in the middle, so that politically they can go home and explain why they didn't get the whole loaf, they only got a half a loaf. I think this shorter-term CR for 2 weeks is going to give them some breathing room. I also think that when things like this happen, it can create some momentum so that you got one negotiation down. Now let's try and do it again. It can't hurt. But you're right. In 2 weeks, we could be right back where we started because we still have the larger issue to deal with, which is 6 months. Republicans in the House want to cut a lot of money that Democrats have no interest in cutting. And to me, really, the wild card here is, what is President Barack Obama going to tell Senate Democrats? What does he want them to do? It's not that they're going to do whatever he says, but he carries a lot of weight here. And if he says, look, meet them somewhere over here, this is amenable to me, I think they're willing to do it. I think if he says, I don't like any of this, I want you to hold out, I think they're willing to do that. And ultimately, the idea of government shutdown looming is both attractive and scary. It's attractive to both sides if they think they can get the political advantage, and scary if they think they're going to get blamed.
David, when we look at this, though, we're looking even a little bit further down the road. What does this, how this is playing out, this CR budget battle playing out, portend for the deficit issue, the debt ceiling issue going forward?
Well, really the debt ceiling issue is going to end up playing heavily into this, because for House Republicans, particularly the new breed, to vote to raise the debt ceiling, and this goes actually for new Republican senators as well, they're going to want to see significant spending cuts, a significant change in direction from where the country has been going the past 2 years in terms of spending, if they're going to support a debt limit increase. And I also think, though, that while House Democrats, I expect to say pretty united, because that's how things work in the House, you do have a few Senate Democrats who are facing the prospect of tough re-elections in Republican-leaning states in 2012. And they might be telling Harry Reid, look, we want to stick together, but we want our jobs. And we need to go home and show our people that we voted for a change in direction. I'm thinking Claire McCaskill, John Tester, Ben Nelson, and a few more.
Okay, David, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon. We'll be back here tomorrow.